10 medicinal and specialty crops that turn small gardens into profit centers. What separates a struggling gardener from a thriving entrepreneur? Knowledge. While most people plant the same vegetables their neighbors grow, a select few understand something powerful. The most profitable plants aren't found in typical garden centers. They're specialty crops with medical applications, culinary prestige, and global demand that can generate income streams you never imagined possible from your backyard. I'm not talking about getting rich quick. I'm talking about strategic cultivation of high-value plants that have transformed home gardens into legitimate businesses. Some of these crops sell for hundreds of dollars per pound. Others create multiple revenue streams from a single harvest. And the best part? Most can be grown in relatively small spaces with the right knowledge. Welcome to Home Gardener, where we explore the intersection of horticulture, health, and wealth creation. Today, I'm revealing 10 specialty crops with genuine profit potential. These aren't hype-based schemes. They're real plants with established markets, proven demand, and the ability to generate substantial returns when grown with skill and intention. If you're ready to transform your gardening from hobby to income source, hit subscribe and let's dig in. Saffron, the crimson threads of fortune. Let's begin with perhaps the most extraordinary crop on this list. Saffron commands prices that rival precious metals, often selling for $500 to $5,000 per pound, depending on quality and origin. Derived from the stigmas of Crocus sativus, each flower produces just 3 delicate red threads that must be hand-harvested during a brief autumn bloom. The labor intensity is legendary. Approximately 150,000 flowers yield 1 kilogram of dried saffron. But here's what makes it viable for small-scale growers. Saffron thrives in arid climates where many crops fail, requires minimal water once established, and the corms multiply naturally, expanding your operation without additional investment. A well-managed quarter acre can produce 5 to 10 pounds annually, potentially generating $15,000 to $30,000 in revenue. Beyond the spice itself, saffron contains powerful compounds like crocin and saffronol, which have documented antidepressant, antioxidant, and neuroprotective properties. This medicinal value is driving pharmaceutical interest, creating additional markets beyond culinary applications. Smart growers are also developing value-added products, saffron-infused honey, skincare formulations, and standardized extracts for supplement companies. Success requires precision. Harvest must occur in early morning when flowers first open. Processing must be immediate to preserve volatile compounds. Storage demands careful humidity control. But for growers who master these details, saffron represents one of the highest returns per square foot in agriculture. The entry barrier is knowledge, not capital, making it accessible to dedicated gardeners willing to learn. American ginseng, the forest pharmacy. While Asian ginseng dominates headlines, American ginseng, Panax quinquefolius, commands premium prices in international markets, particularly in China, where it's valued for its cooling properties in traditional medicine. Wild simulated roots can sell for $600 to $800 per pound dried, with some prime specimens fetching even higher prices. The catch? Ginseng requires patience. Roots need 5 to 7 years to reach marketable maturity, but this timeline is precisely what creates value. Most farmers can't wait that long, which keeps supply limited and prices elevated. The plant thrives in shaded forest environments, making it ideal for woodland owners who can't grow traditional crops. A quarter acre of mature ginseng can be worth $100,000 or more at harvest. Ginseng's medicinal properties are well documented. Ginsenosides, the active compounds, demonstrate adaptogenic effects, helping the body resist stress. Clinical research shows benefits for cognitive function, immune support, and metabolic health. This scientific validation has expanded markets beyond traditional users to include health-conscious consumers seeking evidence-based supplements. The key to profitability lies in wild simulated cultivation. Unlike field-grown ginseng, which looks obviously cultivated and sells for much less, wild simulated roots develop in natural forest settings, producing the gnarled, aged appearance that buyers prize. Growers must understand forest ecology, maintain proper shade levels, 70 to 80%, and manage soil pH carefully. But those who succeed create a long-term asset that appreciates while requiring minimal active maintenance. Medicinal mushrooms, the immune boosters. Shiitake, reishi, lion's mane, and turkey tail mushrooms represent a rapidly expanding market segment. Unlike typical vegetables, medicinal mushrooms can produce multiple harvests from a single inoculation, grow vertically on logs or shelves to maximize space efficiency, and command prices 10 to 20 times higher than common button mushrooms. Shiitake, the most commercially established, sells for $12 to $16 per pound fresh, with dried mushrooms fetching $20 to $30. But the real opportunity lies in specialty varieties. Lion's mane, prized for neurological benefits, can sell for $20 to $25 per pound fresh. Reishi, traditionally used for immune support and longevity, sells primarily in dried form for $15 to $40 per pound, depending on quality. A small basement or garage operation with 500 logs or 100 square feet of shelf space can generate $30,000 to $50,000 annually once established. The medicinal properties are increasingly validated by research. Beta-glucans in these mushrooms demonstrate immune-modulating effects. Compounds in lion's mane stimulate nerve growth factor synthesis, offering neuroprotective potential. Reishi contains triterpenes with anti-inflammatory and adaptogenic properties. This scientific foundation is driving explosive growth in functional food and supplement markets. Success requires understanding fungal biology. Temperature and humidity must be precisely controlled. Contamination must be prevented through proper sterilization. But mushroom cultivation scales beautifully, from small home operations to commercial production. The key advantage is rapid production cycles. Some varieties fruit within weeks of inoculation, allowing quick market testing and cash flow generation that longer cycle crops cannot match. Wasabi, the green gold of aquaculture. Authentic wasabi, Wasabia japonica, is one of the world's most challenging crops to grow, which explains why over 95% of wasabi served globally is actually horseradish with green food coloring. Real wasabi rhizomes sell for $75 to $300 per pound wholesale, with retail prices often exceeding $100 per pound. The difficulty lies in wasabi's exacting requirements: constant cool temperatures, 8 to 20 degrees Celsius, flowing water with high oxygen content, shade, and stable pH. Most growers fail because they cannot maintain these conditions consistently, but those who succeed access an almost unlimited market of high-end restaurants, specialty retailers, and culinary enthusiasts desperate for authentic product. Beyond culinary applications, wasabi contains isothiocyanates with documented antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and potential anti-cancer properties. These compounds are being researched for pharmaceutical applications, and wasabi extracts are appearing in functional foods and supplements. The plant also produces edible leaves and stems that sell as specialty vegetables, creating additional revenue streams from the same crop. Wasabi takes 18 to 24 months to mature, but established operations can maintain continuous harvests through staged plantings. A small greenhouse with recirculating aquaculture can produce 200 to 300 pounds annually on 500 square feet, generating $15,000 to $40,000 in revenue. The barrier to entry isn't land or capital, it's technical knowledge and precise environmental control. Master these elements, and you enter a market with virtually no competition and unlimited demand. Lavender, the Aromatherapy Empire. Lavender represents one of the most versatile crops on this list, with multiple revenue streams from a single planting. Dried flowers sell to florists, crafters, and tea companies. Essential oil commands premium prices in aromatherapy and cosmetic markets. Fresh bouquets sell at farmers markets, and agritourism operations can generate substantial income from lavender farm visits during bloom season. Quality lavender oil sells for $80 to $150 per pound wholesale, with 150 to 200 pounds of fresh flowers yielding 1 pound of oil. But the economics improve dramatically when you control the entire value chain. Small batch distillers who bottle and market their own oil can retail it for $20 to $40 per ounce, transforming the economics completely. A single acre of mature lavender can produce 1,000 to 1,500 pounds of flowers annually, worth $8,000 to $12,000 just in dried flower sales, plus substantial additional revenue from oil and value-added products. Medicinally, lavender's anxiolytic properties are among the best researched in aromatherapy. Clinical studies demonstrate that lavender essential oil can reduce anxiety, improve sleep quality, and provide analgesic effects. The primary active compound, linalool, shows documented therapeutic benefits, lending scientific credibility to traditional uses and expanding market opportunities beyond wellness into mainstream healthcare. Lavender thrives in poor soils and dry conditions where other crops struggle, making it ideal for marginal land. Once established, plants live 10 to 15 years with minimal input. The key to profitability is variety selection. Some cultivars produce superior oil yields, and developing diverse markets. Growers who combine fresh sales, dried products, essential oil, and agritourism can generate $20,000 to $40,000 per acre annually from mature plantings. Goji berries, the superfruit phenomenon. Goji berries, Lycium barbarum, exemplify how nutritional science can transform a relatively unknown fruit into a global commodity. These small red berries contain exceptional levels of zeaxanthin, vitamin C, and unique polysaccharides that have attracted serious scientific attention. The superfood designation isn't just marketing, it's backed by research into antioxidant capacity, immune function, and eye health. Dried goji berries sell for $15 to $30 per pound retail, with organic commanding premium prices. The plants are remarkably productive. Mature bushes can yield 7 to 10 pounds of fresh berries annually, and they continue producing for 20-plus years once established. An acre of mature gojis can generate $30,000 to $50,000 in gross revenue from berry sales alone, with opportunities for value-added products like juice, powder, and extracts. The plant's adaptability is a major advantage. Gojis tolerate poor soils, drought, and temperature extremes that would destroy more delicate fruits. They're also resistant to most common pests and diseases, reducing input costs. The challenge is labor. Berries must be hand-harvested repeatedly throughout the season, and careful handling is essential to prevent damage. This labor intensity actually protects small-scale growers from industrial competition. Success requires understanding berry drying techniques. Improper drying destroys nutritional value and visual appeal. Developing direct-to-consumer sales channels to capture retail margins, and positioning your product in the premium organic market. Growers who master these elements can build sustainable businesses that provide income for decades from a single initial planting. Specialty microgreens, the urban farmer's secret. While common microgreens have become commoditized, specialty varieties still command exceptional prices. Wasabi arugula, purple radish, and amaranth microgreens sell for $30 to $60 per pound to high-end restaurants. What makes microgreens extraordinary is the production timeline. Seed to harvest in 7 to 21 days, allowing weekly or even daily sales and rapid cash flow. The nutritional density of microgreens is scientifically documented. Many varieties contain 4 to 40 times the nutrient concentrations of mature plants. This isn't marketing, it's published research. Red cabbage microgreens, for example, contain up to 40 times more vitamin E than mature cabbage. This nutrient density appeals to health-conscious consumers and provides legitimate marketing claims. A 100 square foot growing area can produce $3,000 to $5,000 in monthly revenue once systems are optimized. The key is developing consistent restaurant relationships that guarantee sales and maintaining impeccable quality control, and focusing on specialty varieties that command premium prices rather than competing in commoditized markets. Some successful growers are also targeting functional medicine practitioners who recommend specific microgreens for therapeutic nutrient density. Success requires precision. Lighting, temperature, humidity, and seed density must be tightly controlled. Contamination means total crop loss. But the space efficiency is unmatched. Growers can operate in basements, garages, or spare rooms with minimal startup costs. The business scales through replication. Once you perfect one 100 square foot setup, you can add additional units with predictable results. Elderberry, the immune support staple. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated already strong demand for elderberry products, and the market shows no signs of slowing. Research demonstrating elderberry's antiviral and immune-supporting properties has transformed it from folk remedy to mainstream supplement, creating explosive demand that supply hasn't caught up with. Fresh elderberries sell for $3 to $6 per pound to processors, but the real profit lies in value-added products. Elderberry syrup retails for $15 to $25 per pint. Dried berries command $20 to $30 per pound. Concentrated extracts sell to supplement manufacturers for significantly higher prices. A quarter acre of mature elderberries can yield 4,000 to 6,000 pounds of fruit annually, with gross revenues of $15,000 to $25,000 from fresh sales, or $50,000 plus from value-added products. The active compounds in elderberries include anthocyanins and flavonoids with documented immune-modulating effects. Clinical studies show that elderberry extract can reduce duration and severity of influenza symptoms. This scientific validation has brought elderberry into mainstream medicine, with some physicians now recommending it alongside conventional treatments. Elderberries are remarkably easy to grow. They tolerate various soils, grow rapidly, and begin producing in the second year. The challenge is developing processing capabilities and marketing channels. Growers who invest in simple processing equipment, steam juicers, dehydrators, and develop direct-to-consumer brands can capture dramatically higher margins than those selling wholesale berries. The market is strong enough to support premium pricing for quality products. Stevia, the natural sweetener revolution. As sugar taxes spread globally and consumers seek healthier alternatives, Stevia rebodana, demand continues accelerating. The plant produces steviol glycosides, which are 200 to 300 times sweeter than sugar, with 0 calories and no glycemic impact. This unique profile makes stevia valuable to diabetics, weight loss seekers, and health-conscious consumers. Dried stevia leaves sell for $5 to $10 per pound wholesale, with organic commanding higher prices. But the real value lies in processed products. Powdered leaves retail for $15 to $30 per pound. Purified extracts sell to beverage and food manufacturers at substantially higher prices. A quarter acre can produce 1,500 to 2,000 pounds of dried leaves annually, generating $7,500 to $20,000 in gross revenue, with significantly higher returns from value-added processing. Stevia's medicinal properties extend beyond sweetening. Research suggests potential benefits for blood pressure regulation, anti-inflammatory effects, and antimicrobial activity. These additional health benefits expand market opportunities beyond simple sugar replacement into functional food and supplement categories. The plant thrives in warm climates and can be grown in containers in cooler regions, brought indoors for winter. Multiple harvests are possible per season, with leaves picked before flowering for optimal sweetness. The key to profitability is timing harvests correctly. Sweetness peaks just before flowering. Proper drying, improper techniques destroy sweetness, and developing reliable markets. Direct sales to health food stores and online customers typically provide better margins than wholesale channels. Moringa, the multi-product miracle. Moringa oleifera stands apart for its versatility. Leaves, seeds, flowers, and seed oil all have commercial markets. The leaves contain exceptional protein levels for a plant, up to 27% by dry weight, complete amino acid profiles, and high concentrations of vitamins A, C, and minerals. This nutritional density has made moringa powder a staple in health food markets. Dried moringa leaf powder retails for $15 to $40 per pound. Moringa oil, extracted from seeds, sells for $50 to $100 per pound for cosmetic applications. Fresh drumstick pods, immature seed pods, sell as specialty vegetables for $3 to $6 per pound. A small moringa plantation can produce multiple harvests annually, with leaves harvested every 4 to 6 weeks. An acre can generate $15,000 to $30,000 annually from leaf sales alone, with additional revenue from pods and seeds. Moringa's medicinal properties are extensively researched. Anti-inflammatory compounds, antioxidants, and bioactive substances that demonstrate blood sugar regulation, cholesterol management, and antimicrobial effects. This scientific foundation is driving adoption beyond wellness markets into functional foods and nutraceuticals. The tree also grows with minimal water and thrives in poor soils, making it ideal for challenging growing conditions. Success requires understanding harvest timing. Young leaves command premium prices. Proper drying techniques, low temperature drying preserves nutrients and color, and developing diverse markets for different plant parts. Growers in warm climates can produce year-round. Those in temperate regions can grow in greenhouses or treat moringa as an annual, still achieving profitability through intensive seasonal production. Building your profitable garden. Strategic considerations. These 10 crops share common characteristics that explain their profitability. They're in high demand but limited supply. They offer scientific validation of health benefits that justify premium pricing. They provide multiple revenue streams through value-added processing, and they reward skill over scale, protecting small growers from industrial competition. Success doesn't require growing all 10 crops. In fact, focusing on 1 or 2 crops that match your climate, space, and interests typically yields better results than trying to do everything. The key is deep knowledge, understanding your chosen crop's biology, optimal harvest timing, processing requirements, and market preferences. This expertise becomes your competitive advantage. Start small. Test markets before scaling. Develop direct relationships with customers who value quality. Invest in proper processing equipment when value-added products make sense. And always prioritize quality over quantity. In specialty markets, reputation matters more than volume. The most successful specialty crop growers share one trait. They view themselves as agricultural entrepreneurs, not just gardeners. They understand their customers. They stay current with market trends. They continuously improve their cultivation techniques, and they're not afraid to experiment with new products and marketing approaches. Which of these crops interests you most? What questions do you have about getting started? Share in the comments below. And if you found this valuable, subscribe to Home Gardener for more in-depth explorations of specialty crops, cultivation techniques, and market strategies that can transform your garden from expense to income. The knowledge is here. The markets are real. The only question is, are you ready to grow differently? Remember, Wealth doesn't come from planting what everyone else plants. It comes from cultivating knowledge, growing strategically, and serving markets that value